which are carrying the electricity, right? You will be seeing in your household equipments, everything. That is, which are holding the currents are known as the copper wires, and the aluminium plates or aluminium metallic plates you will be observing in your utensils in the kitchen, and iron you will be observing nails, iron nails, and iron bars, right? Iron equipments like axe and all you will be seeing for working purpose, right? Now all these materials are classified into two types. They are metals and other one is non-metals. These two, metals and non-metals, are classified on the basis of their characteristics or properties. Those properties are known as physical and chemical properties. Physical, while coming to physical properties, the properties what we can see and we can touch and we can feel are known as the physical properties. While coming to the chemical properties, the reactions which are undergone by the metals and non-metals will be seen by other resultant compositions, and thus we will be classifying these metals and non-metals into two types. Now, while coming to the metals, let us see some physical properties of metals and how the metals are differentiated from the non-metals. First, we will be seeing the iron rod, nail, and copper metals. These three, I hope you have come across these three things. That is iron rod, which is used to help dig the ground, and the nails, which are used to be hammered on the wall, and copper wires you will be seeing, which are allowing the electricity. All these three types are known as the good conductors of electricity. That means, what do you mean by good conductors? The conductors are the things or the materials which allows the flow of current through them. That means the flow of electrons is mobility. That means they are free. Free electrons are available in those materials. Now, good conductors means they will be having good electrical strength. And when coming to the bad conductors or poor conductors, we will be coming across the first one, that is good, which will not accept the flow of electrons, that is immobile electrons. That is, they are not, the rest electrons are present. And when coming to other poor conductors of electricity, we will be coming across coal piece and rolled sulfur piece. That means sulfur and coal also acts as the poor conductors of electricity. Now let us see what is the difference between these two. Why some metals are known as good conductors and some non-metals are known as the bad conductors? Because these are based upon the configuration. That is, atomic structure comes into play while we discuss about the electricity and the conduction nature of the metals. Now we will be seeing the second point, that is why, for example, let us take blacksmith, right? The blacksmith used to beat with the hammer all the iron nails, and you will be seeing iron plates, lead axe, all those things were beaten up by the blacksmith, and he will be maintaining them and he will be resulting them into a formation of certain shapes which are useful for some equipment purposes. And now the shapes of iron nail and aluminium wire, if you observe them, any iron piece or any aluminium piece or nails, when they are beaten with a hammer, they will be changed into some other shape, right? Some sheets like metals. Only metals will be forming into thin sheets. Please remind that point. And this property is known as malleability property. And this is the first property of metals. This is one of the first physical property. Now let us come to other properties such as ductility. What do you mean by ductility? Ductility is nothing but the metals are interconverted into wires. The property of the metals in order to form into thin sheets is known as malleability. Okay. The another property of metals is they have the capability to interform into thin wires. That is, you will be seeing the copper wires. I hope you will be seeing the copper wires, right? The electricity conductors they are known as. And that property of the metals to be drawn into wires or into shapes of wires is known as ductility. That property is known as ductility, and forming into sheets is known as malleability. These two properties are the major properties and the physical properties for metals. And when coming to metallic plates or metallic pans in the home, if you observe those hot metallic pans, that is what we use for dosha pan and all. If at all you want to catch those pans, you will be catching the handle which is made up of wooden or plastic, right? But if at all imagine without those wooden and plastic handles, how you are able to catch those pans? It is highly difficult, right? Because those pans are good conductors. That means they are accepting the heat, right? But while coming to the handle, it is a bad conductor will be falling because it doesn't accept or absorb the heat. So therefore, we will be handling the wooden handle in order to do tawa or anything. Now let us see the pencil and coal. If you observe the pencil and coal, is it possible to make the pencil or the coal into thin sheets? No, we can't make the pencil or coal into thin sheets, right? And we can't make them into thin wires also. So therefore we can classify them based upon their physical conditions, such as pencil and coal and these wooden handles and all plastic are considered as the non-metals. They are classified and they come under the non-metals stage. We have learned two physical properties of metals, that is ductility and malleability, right? These two properties I have said that if at all the metals are able to form into thin sheets, then it is known as malleability. And if at all it can be formed into thin wires, then it is known as ductility. Now, by coming to the third property, that is, if at all you observe when you drop a sheet, iron sheet or plate or metal coin or a piece of coal, you will be observing that different sounds are generated. A piece of coal will be generating zero sound, and iron sheet or metal coin will be generating some type of sounds. So what I want to say is, if at all you observe in temples that will be having a bell, right? That the ringing bell, and we will not be manufacturing or we can't make it with a wooden block. We will be placing the iron type of content, right? Why we are using the metals only to produce the sound? That means the reason why means the metals will be producing the sound when they are beaten harder. That is the main cause. We will be using only metals to generate any sounds or for the sake of vibrations. That is, even the tuning fork, if you observe, it is not made up of wood or any non-metals. It is made up of iron, the metal. Now, these metals